It is 6:45 in the morning, and I finally understand why people say F them kids. And I know y'all probably like, Nara, what are you talking about? What does this have to do with business? Why should we be saying forget about them kids when it come to business? Well, I'm not saying forget your kids, but let's all be real. Anybody with children that are an entrepreneur, we know how hard it could be to be a parent and be a boss. Now, yeah, they're a hurdle, but they're also our biggest motivation. So we are quick to say, oh, well, I'm doing this for my kids and my child will be set. My children will be able to be heirs, which all are true. All of those things are reasons. But deep down in the back of our head, it's that little bit of resentment because we wish we probably would have did all of this before we became parents. The last couple of weeks, I got a taste of what it's like to not only be a parent to one kid and have to run a business, but I saw what it's like for people to have no choice but to have to tug two or more kids around with them everywhere they go. Meetings become harder to do. Consultations are kind of irrelevant because there's no way to make more than one child sit down with an iPad and headphones. It's impossible. They want your attention, and they also somehow become in competition with each other, even if one doesn't belong to you. Now, my situation is a little different because let's be real, I'm a married woman with two bonus kids, but we're not in the same household. So I haven't got that dose of, oh yeah, this is what it's like to run a brand as well as have to care for more than one child. So in this opportunity of seeing what it's like for people that don't have the choice, don't have the flexibility, I realized how much of a strain it could be to try to be your own boss and have a family. It's very hard. Your late nights and early mornings go from just doing whatever you want to do to trying to make deadlines so you can put on that hat and be a parent. You have to figure out, okay, how do I balance out giving them attention and making them understand that I'm doing all of this for us. It completely slows you down. If I would have known what I knew now, almost a decade ago, I would have pushed myself harder without children versus waiting until I had a child to push myself because it's not easy. It's not easy at all. So you have to come up with different ideas and different methods. If I could give every parent listening out here advice on what they can do for their business to make it easy and a good transition from switching hats, I would say figure out a way to involve your child, but not strip their childhood from them. And I'm going to say that again. Figure out a way to involve your child in your business, but do not strip their childhood away from them. For example, my daughter is co-owner of a business with me. On the paperwork, all of that. You want more information about how to start a business with your child? Go over to simplycompleteonline.com and we can set a consultation up and get you and your baby on that path as well. But even though I want her to take this business super serious and I want her to really pay attention to what I'm teaching her, I have to remember she's 4. And my husband, he reminds me of that all the time when I try to get a little extra when it comes to doing business with my child. He does remind me that she's a child. And one day she will take it serious. But it's my job to make it fun for her now so that she doesn't dread it. And it goes from being a passion to a job for her. And that's what we don't want for her. We don't want her to feel like she has to do something just to do it, but not love it. So that's something sometimes you have to allow somebody from the outside looking in to remind you of the values that you want to really instill in your child and honestly instill in yourself when it comes to business. It's not easy. It is not easy at all. You know, you may double book yourself and you're like, wow, I have to go take care of this because this is for the entrepreneur side of me. But then I also got to be ready to take my child to a birthday party. And sometimes you have to make those hard decisions that people without kids running a business won't understand because I'm sorry. Everybody say business come before everything. Business doesn't come before your kids. So if you're going to be the type of parent you know you can be and live up to your full potential, you have to sometimes make those sacrifices when it comes to your business. So I would say to do as much work as you can, plan, so that way if it's ever a time where meetings conflict with family time, you can take that family time. You don't want to be the person that you spent your whole life trying to make your business get where it needs to go. It gets super successful. And then when it's time to retire, your kids don't even want to deal with you because you never made time for them in the first place. So I would say that notion of F them kids is kind of irrelevant because you really can't say F your kids. You can say, okay, this time of the day is only for business, but then I'm going to make sure that, just say after 6 p.m., oh, now it's time to switch over to that mode and give my children the time they deserve from me. But I would not recommend anyone to try to start a brand without sitting down with someone first and just discussing the pros and the cons, because if you don't plan it efficiently, you'll end up just saying forget it. And I was there once. I truly was. I literally got pregnant with my daughter, and that's all I cared about was being pregnant with my daughter. I did not care about business. I didn't care about my relationship. I went from worrying about being someone's girlfriend to all I cared about was being a mother. Fast forward, now we're married, so it still worked out for us, but everything shut down because all I wanted to focus on was being a mother. So then once I had my daughter, I had to put those pieces back together. And honestly, a lot of those pieces truly took the last 4 years to put together. But if I would have sat down with maybe a business coach or a mentor or someone before I became a mother and was starting my business, as well as wrapped back around and sat down with one afterwards, it would have been a lot easier for me. So that's what I suggest to all my listeners. If you're an entrepreneur and you're thinking about starting a family, or you already have a family and now you want to become an entrepreneur, or even if you fell off for a little bit because the hurdle was a little too much and it became more of a burden to you, let's definitely talk. Let's figure out what we can do for you, and let's get the wheels back turning in every aspect of your life. As always, you all know you can find me on social media up under Simply Complete PR, or you can just go over to my website, simplycompleteonline.com, and book a consultation. And we can set up some brand analysis, do a couple of one-on-ones, and make sure that you're never looking at your hurdle as wanting to say F them kids. So y'all be blessed this morning. Have a great weekend. Get those wheels turning to push forward for the new work week. And let's keep on knocking out this fourth quarter.